Multiple businesses have been affected due to heavy flooding in the Nelson Mandela Bay metro. Areas affected include Perseverance, Kariega and Baakens Valley. Newzroom Afrika's Silethiwe and Ndlovu joins us now. Silethiwe, good afternoon. Talk to us about where you are. You have been visiting as many communities who have been directly impacted as you can. In some of the stories, people have been left to their own devices for years, promises made, never fulfilled about relocation, being able to acquire another piece of land where they can set up their structures, and the massive impact and cost to them personally, especially in circumstances where some of them might have lost their jobs. Tell us more.
That's quite right, Iman. Of course, we spoke to Vuyani just, a couple of minutes ago, and he was saying that, he's been severely impacted because of the area where he resides. And of course, as you just said, promises were made to actually move them from that area to an area where they can build houses that are, able to withstand things such as floods. So really quite sad and devastating details coming from some of those residents that we've been talking to throughout the various areas. As you also mentioned, businesses were also heavily impacted, some of them having to close shop because of those floods that we saw. Areas that were affected the most include Kariega, Baakens and Perseverance. This particular area, however, is Baakens Valley. It's also part of that long list alongside Newtown Park that was also affected in terms of businesses. We are going to bring in, someone that does customer service here in this area at the Funk shop. Flo, thank you so much for speaking to us. I think let's start off with, those floods that you saw a few days ago. Talk to us about what happened.
Yeah, no, look, Monday's rain was okay. We did hear it was getting quite a bit bad. I think we were reaching up to stage 6 or level 6. Luckily, we had colleagues that came earlier that morning, and she sent us photos of how bad it was. So we obviously had to change position and take another route to get to work. And it was quite really bad. The river had risen quite high as usual. And when we got to work, we had to just keep an eye out and chat with the owner of the company as well in regards to what we will do for the rest of the day. She had informed us to keep an eye out on how high it will go. And I think at the time that we realized it was getting very bad, we were concerned about the staff and everyone, because there was one gentleman that mentioned if it goes any higher, it's a possibility that, the barrier can break. So just taking the staff into consideration, we decided to close for the day, let all our clients know, it's very important that the staff also need to get home and get to the problems that they're facing at their houses as well.
Yes, true, because of course it impacted not just businesses but also homes. You mentioned that there are measures that you took when those floods came. Talk to us about that. Of course, we saw those, videos on social media of, that the valley right behind you. Talk to us about the measures.
We had to call some guys in because the main concern was if the water comes over, it will obviously reach into our factory. We've got computers and very important things in there. So we had to get a guy that can barricade the front of the door. We had to get sandbags in and just, put some measurements into place to secure the property and get everyone to safety.
Lastly, in terms of damages and talking about safety, was there any damage to your factory? Was there any damage in this particular area?
Luckily, not to us. I think we had just scraped because we do know that we could see there was a measurement that the water had reached there. But unfortunately, or fortunately, we didn't have any damages. I do know some buildings that's a little bit more downer. I think they could have maybe been impacted because it did look quite bad that the water reached their factories as well. So that's as far as I know. But safe. Luckily, we're all safe and we could come back to work and continue our, do our daily dues. And so thankfully, it did stop raining.
Perfect, perfect. Flo, thank you so much for speaking to us. In terms of details coming from that conversation, of course, this is the Baakens Valley. As you can see behind me, there's a valley right next to some of those businesses that we have here. And thankfully, they are quite safe. No reports in terms of damages. But looking at that statement that came in from the municipality, there are quite a few businesses that still haven't been opened as yet. Taxi ranks, we're told, are still not operating. Small-scale farmers were also affected, and other informal trading is still at a halt right now.
Thank you very much. All right.